Hey everyone, this is Miko with the Permit Empire. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in, all of you who tune in while it's going live, and all of you who tune in while catching that replay. I want to thank you so much for your time. I also want to say, just excuse my loud background. If you can hear that noise, that is my air conditioner, okay? So please excuse it, all right? But I wanted to just go ahead and go live today. Wanted to talk about something really, really quick. So, as you could probably see by the title of this live video, hey, Black Sugar Designs, good to see you in here. But as you can see by the title of this video, this live, I wanted to talk a little bit about the upcoming Permit Runner Boot Camp. I will be holding an upcoming Permit Runner online. It's going to be online. I'm going to do Zoom just the way we did it before. We're going to come back and we're going to do another one on May 13th. And the reason I'm doing this because I actually did record that and I have it out for replay and people have purchased it. I am so glad. I'm thankful for that as well. Hey Judith, hey Sharon, good to see y'all in here. But yes, so we did do that last year and it was great. And we did a follow-up and that was great as well. So I am going to do another live event, another live training session. We're going to do the boot camp again and it's going to be next month, right? So you got a good 30 days or so right now before it actually rolls in, right? We're going to do May 13th, which is a Saturday. Hey, Miss Addie Virtual Academy, good to see you in here too. Right, so we're going to be doing that. It's about 30 days away, right? It's mid-May, May 13th, which is a Saturday. It's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? To 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to take some time and dive into permit running, right? We're going to go over getting started. We're going to go over some of the forms that you'll be filling out or that you will just be dealing with as it pertains to permit running for your clients, just so you can get an understanding of those things. We'll be talking about pricing, kind of how you should be setting your prices for certain services, because as you may know, it's not always just the permit running portion. There may be other things that you are doing or other services that you're providing for your client. And you kind of want to see how you should price that out depending on your area. So I want us to get a chance to get in there and discuss that a little bit, right? We're going to do that boot camp. We're going to go over it. And yes, it's 2.5 hours, right? It's a little bit long, but that way I know I can get that information that's needed to you all at one time in one place, and it will be recorded as well, so you'll be able to get that replay if you purchase the boot camp. Now this is for purchase. Like I said again, it's going to be 2.5 hours. It's going to be May 13th, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to get in there and we're going to go through just from the beginning, right? Kind of starting up different forms, the fees, the services. We're going to get in there and we're going to talk about some of those things. So I would definitely love it if you could participate. I understand that you may not be able to. Again, I would love it if you could be in there. Now, normally for the boot camp, it is $77. If you have purchased it when we did the live one, the last live one, you'll see it's $77. That is the fee for the boot camp. I also like to kind of keep it a little bit small, because that way I want to be able to also interact if you have questions while we're doing it. Because of course, like I said, last time we did this, it went really well. There was some questions. I was able to answer it. We were able to do that while that boot camp was going. And I would love to be able to do that again. So again, I want to keep it a little bit small. So that way I do have the opportunity to have some interaction with you, to answer some questions, to go over some things kind of in depth, right? We want to get some details about some of these things. Like I said, again, I really want you to have an understanding of just some of the forms that you have to fill out, the permit applications, right? I get a lot of questions about even the permit application as to like, what's this? Who fills this out? Who's signing this? And I want us to be able to go over some of those things and get some general ideas, even with some of the online systems, right? I want us to be able to, kind of get a better idea of what you're doing when you are, submitting a permit online. It just gives you a better idea of that kind of thing. So I will be doing another boot camp. It will be May 13th, which is a Saturday. It will be from 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. And for the first few people who get in there, I'm going to make it $57 instead of $77, right? We're going to just do a discounted rate at the beginning for the first, I guess, 5 people who get in there. I'll do it at $57 instead of the normal $77. Again, I like to keep this small, so definitely I want us to be able to, interact with each other, and it will be on Zoom, so that way we can actually interact with each other. We can get a conversation going. You can get some more understanding while we are going. So I'm going to put the link in the chat, right? I'm going to put the link in the chat so that you'll be able to see it. Let me put it over here now. And that way you can take advantage of that as well. And that is going to be from May 13th, 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Want to make sure you can get in there, check it out. And I don't know why it's not going in that chat, but I'm going to put it in there. So let me click over here and see if I can get this right now and put it in here. All right, let's see if that works. All right, there we go. All right. So I have that in there. And again, I just wanted to get in here and kind of discuss that a little bit because I'm getting a lot of questions about it. I had actually stopped doing consultations. And of course, I took a little bit of a break. I stopped doing those individual consultations just because, hey, I had a lot of stuff going on. I got really, really busy with business. I just really did. I got really busy with business, doing a lot of different things. I had taken on I have a client who had taken on more responsibilities. He ended up hiring more people, more project managers, which meant they were out getting more jobs. And for me, that means I'm getting more work too, because hey, guess what? They're bringing in projects that need permits, right? And a lot of that, which I'm so grateful for, it was online, but it sure did take a lot because I was making sure that I'm getting all of that stuff done. And again, online permitting, it's really good for us as permit runners. If this is something you're interested in getting into and you want to get involved in it, this is something that's good for us because you can do it. A lot of people work from home. They have a room dedicated, you have your office at home and you can do this right from home. So this works out really good. Again, like I said, my client was bringing in more projects. So I got pretty busy, which is a good thing. And so that's why also I stopped doing some of my one-on-one consultations. But I figure with this, if we get back in here and we do another boot camp, that way it'll give us a chance to go over in more details because my consultations are usually about a half an hour, right? So with this, the boot camp is about 2.5 hours, and it'll give us an opportunity to get in there, talk about some different things. Let me show you, the forms again. Let me show you some of the services. Let's get in there and let's talk about some of those things. That gives us that opportunity to do so because this is a great time to get involved in permit running. Here's the thing, we're at that point where everybody's coming back even from spring break, right? So even some of my clients have ramped it up. And I know that's kind of what happens in construction. You might see like a little bit of a slowdown when it comes to like spring break or the holidays during like Christmas, right? At that time, New Year's, you see a little bit of a slowdown. But once we pick back up in January, it gets back to rolling. And then once spring break is pretty much over, guess what? We get back to rolling. So this is a really good time for you if you're interested in getting into permit running. It's a good time to learn. It's a good time to get that information, right? It's a good time for you to jump on in there, get your business started, and get to moving, get some clients, right? And a lot of you, I know, follow me, you already have something going on. Like you're already a notary. You're already signing agents, you may have some type of courier service already in place. You're already operating. Well, this is a great time for you to be able to, hey, let me add this in here. Let me add this service in here. But let me have a good understanding as to what I'm adding into my business. This may even give you the opportunity to see, is this something that I really want to do? Is this something that I'll be able to truthfully add into my business and make a profit, right? So that's things that we want to talk about. I always go back to saying when I first started in business, like in permit running, right? Because I started off as an insurance agent. That was what it was, right? So I started off as an insurance agent. Oh, Black Sugar Designs, you got it. I'm good. I'm glad. I'm glad that you did. And I look forward to seeing you pretty soon. We got May 13th. So I look forward to seeing you, right? So when I first started off in business, I started off as an insurance agent. And as you know, for the most part, right? With an insurance agent, you get paid off commission. So that's how I was getting paid. So there wasn't anyone saying to me, hey, your fees are too low. There wasn't, that I didn't have that. I was getting paid off of commission, right? It was set. This was the agreed upon amount. You sell a policy. This is what you get. That's it. There's nothing to talk about. But I can say, even with permit running, a lot of times, and I would say for myself, when I got into it, I was charging such a low rate because that's what I heard I should be doing. I heard that from someone else. They told me, hey, this is what permit runners charge. And even a contractor told me at one point, like, no, normally it's this fee. But what I later found out was, guess what? Mm-mm. I was doing myself a disservice taking that advice, not really having a good understanding of what I should be charging, and I lowballed. It was I wasn't making any money, and I was tired because guess what? I got burnt out. I acquired plenty of clients, but it was because my price was so low. But I found myself working so hard unnecessarily, and what I got to right. Oh, Miss Addie, for my last video, you were able to register with 2 districts in your state. All right. And you applied to 3 Facebook trade minutes page. That's awesome. Look at here. Look, you on the right path. You are on the right path. I'm really glad to see that. I'm really glad to see that you're on the right path. But yeah, but like I said, I was working so hard and I was really just doing myself a disservice, right? Because sure, I had clientele and that made me feel really good. But at the rates I was charging, I was burnt out, spinning my wheels, not making enough, doing all of these different things. And almost in some cases where I was acting almost like I was a part of, like I was truly like in their office doing certain things and not charging for it, right? So I want to be able to kind of get into that a little bit. We want to discuss that. Like I said, different services that you need to charge for, right? You need to charge for. There's different services that you need to charge for, and you need to be aware of that, right? Because no one wants to be spending their time wasting it, right? You don't, that's not what you're in business for. You're in business to stay in business. You're in business to make money and pay your bills and live, right? That's the whole goal of it, right? Black Sugar Designs, you just got your notary. Awesome. So even with that, right? Because I talk about that too. As a permit runner, you don't need to be a notary, but that's a way to add additional, that's a service that you can add to add additional income to what it is that you're doing. So even as a permit runner, right? That is extra. You can notarize documents for your clients. That is extra. So that's some of the things I want to talk about in the boot camp as well, right? That's extra. We need to know that. We need to understand what value we provide, what value we bring to our clients, right? It's not just that, like, we're not doing favors. Our business is not about us doing a favor. Yes, the service that we provide, that client, my clients need my service and they make it very known. No, 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 I need someone to do this, right? But we need to be okay with demanding what we're worth for these services. And I get it. Sometimes you jump out there and you're new and you're not sure what to what to ask for, or should I charge for this, or can I charge for this, or what can I charge for this? Let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. Let's get some of those questions answered, because again, you're in business to make money. That's just it, right? You're in business to make money, right? Miss Addie, you're saying the state permits are now being submitted online and the websites offer tutorials to use the online. Exactly, exactly. You can do permits right from home, right from whatever setting you've already operating your business from. You can do permits. It's just like that, right? It's just like that. And a lot of the areas have tutorials on how to upload, right? They have tutorials. I think I mentioned that even in my last video. They have tutorials as to how to upload. So again, even with that being said, right, with that being said, and you're saying I'm a believer there are forms that do need to be notarized. Great, even better, because again, Miss Addie, Virtual Academy, again, those are things you can charge for, right? Those are things you can charge for. That's value. I can say in my area, all the forms need to be notarized. There's so many forms that need to be notarized, right? And even more that I'm doing different trades, dealing with different tradesmen, right? I see that even like some of the plumbers, let's say some of the plumbers, when they make out their plans, like their plans also need to be notarized. Like the fact that they're signing off on this is how this plan is going to go, it needs to be notarized too in a lot of instances. So there's so many other things that you can do, right? And you're getting paid for that. You should be getting paid for that, right? Hey, Sharon, you in the boot camp? All right, I'm glad to see that. I'm looking forward to seeing you in there too. But yes, so definitely we want to be able to sure, like I said, like I know a lot of you are already in business. Miss Addie's Virtual Academy, you're already in business. I got that. A lot of you guys are already in business, right? So let's add this service. Let's be effective. Let's go, let's get our clients, let's get clients, let's offer them a service that they are more than willing to pay for. Let's offer them this service. They're more than, but not because we are lowballing ourselves, right? It's because we're adding value to them, even though you don't see it. Now, and why I say this part is because I have had many messages where people are asking me about how can I present my service to someone for the prices, for some of these prices. It's you're asking that because you don't necessarily see the value in that. But believe me when I tell you, your client, they do. They see the value in the services that you're providing because sure, we could always go with they can do it themselves, but are they really going to do it themselves? In a lot of cases, they are not going to do it themselves. And let me also say this, in a lot of cases, they are backed up because they haven't gotten their permits, because they haven't submitted it, because they're doing so many other things. Hey, LaQuisia, good to see you in here. Would you go over what needs to be done once you get a client, such as creating invoices, record keeping, how often you communicate during the permit process? Yes, LaQuisia. I'm going to talk about that because that's also important, right? That's also important about once you get a client, what do I do now? Let me invoice. Like, what do I do? No, no, no. We're going to talk about that, LaQuisia. We're going to go ahead and talk about that because that's important information. Now I have the client. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I got the client. What am I going to do? Right? What's the next step? Right? What should I be asking them for? Right? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that a little bit, right? Because even I've had that question come up a lot, but I want to talk about that because that's a good question. That's something you 100% are going to need to know, right? Some of this, if you don't have to just kind of like figure it out as you go, you'll be in a much better situation. I wish that when I started, right, that I did have some of that information. Because again, like I said, I didn't have the problem with like not getting a client. I was getting clients because I was low. I was extremely my prices didn't make any sense. I mean, I know that there are some people who are charging that now, but it's too low, right? And so I was getting clients because my prices were so low, but it was not serving me at all. It was not serving me. Like I shouldn't be working constantly, trying to make up, like and almost make up for what I'm losing out in bulk financially. And no, it shouldn't be that way. You can have a few clients. You can have a few clients and still be able to pay your bills. And I think that's something that we don't talk about very much either. We kind of look at it from the standpoint of I need more. Well, if you get a few good ones and you charge appropriately, like you will be able to sustain even from that. Sure, we are definitely in the business to acquire more clients. We don't want to get, just comfortable with, oh, these are my two or three. No, that's not it. I'm not telling you that. But what I am telling you is that this is not one of those things where I want to tell you that, oh, I have to be working and grinding so very hard and I can't sleep. Sure, we get it in business when you're starting up, then maybe you are grinding kind of hard, right? Maybe you are, but that's not what you want to continue to do. And a lot of that deals with how much you're charging for the services that you're providing. So we want to talk about that. Again, like I said, when you get your client, what are we doing next? When are we billing? How are we billing? Let's talk about some of those things, right? Black Sugar Designs, is there a big difference state or county wise? And you're in Tampa, hey. Um, there isn't like a huge difference. Everywhere has like different requirements, but it's not it if you understand county or even city, right? If you understand how Tampa operates, then you understand how I think you're in Hillsborough County. You'll understand how the county works. You'll also be able to understand how the state works. They're not so far from each other, right? Miss Addie, I was thinking that they can submit their own permits since submitting the permits online, but watching your videos has given the encouragement and motivation to try to do this. Yes, yes. I'm telling you, they can do it online, Miss Addie. They can do it online. But are they really going to? Because I would be out of business if they all just decided I'm going to do it online. Like if all the contractors said, I have time, I'm just going to do it online. I have time. I'll still meet with my clients. I'll still have my meetings, all of that stuff. Let me tell you, right? I have one of my clients, right? And they have me, tagged on like a lot of their emails, right? Or CC'd on a lot of their emails. Between all of the meetings and the project visits and the engineering visits that they do, oh, I understand completely why they don't want to also sit down and have that other responsibility. I completely understand it. I completely understand it. But it's the same way with us in business. There will be things that we are also outsourcing to others because sure, we could look at it and say, hey, I got the time, or hey, no, you're out trying to get new clients, you're doing different things, and it is helpful to have someone else maybe work on some of the issues or some of the areas in your business, such as like even social media. It's helpful. Believe you me, like I said, my client, I'm on those emails of his and I'm like, whoa, whoa, okay. I see why. And he has small children too, like at home, like he has a family. So I see it where it's like he is being pulled in multiple ways, right? If he can pass, and he's more than happy to pass off that area permitting to me. He's more than happy to do so. I mean, it's not even like a question. It's not even like he'll even say, "Oh, is this one an online permit?" Because not everything in our area is completely online. There's some cities that have decided to stay with in-person submittals, and that's cool too. But he'll ask me, he'll be like, "Is this an online permit? Can I just forward you the digital copies from the engineer?" Yes, you can. And he appreciates that because guess what that means? He doesn't have to meet me to bring me plans, or he doesn't have to maybe go to the engineer to pick up the plans to bring them to me. He doesn't have to do that. He simply forwards it to me from his engineer, from his engineer who's done the plans for him. It makes it easier, and he's happier about it because he feels like I'll be able to submit it faster too, which is the truth. Because hey, you forward it over to me, I'm ready to go. That's how this goes, right? So so again, I like I said, I wanted to just jump in here because I'm going to be doing that online boot camp May 13th. It is a Saturday. It is 2 to 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like I said, for like the first 5 people or so, because it's normally $77. If you see my other link for it, it'll say that it's $77. But I have a link in the comment section of this chat. If you click on that link, you'll get it for $57. Now, I'm going to keep that going for the first 5 or so people. Again, I like to kind of keep them a little bit small because guess what? I like to interact. If you haven't noticed, I do a lot of live videos because I actually like this interaction. I want to know what question you had. Did I say something and you didn't quite understand it? Or maybe I'm saying something in a way that's not so understandable to multiple people. And the reason I'm giving this information is so that you understand, right? It defeats the purpose. If I'm talking in riddles or in circles and you can't understand, defeats the purpose of me even, doing this. So I like to be able to hear from you. Hey, can you expound on that a little bit? Can you explain it? I'm good with that, right? So again, we'll have the opportunity to do that in the Permit Runner Boot Camp. Now, I'm not going to keep y'all too long. I am getting closer to that 25-minute point. So I am going to go ahead and check out for the day. But I'll follow back up with you guys this upcoming week. I was actually gonna go live last Wednesday. It completely flooded. We was having all kind of good issues here in South Florida. It was raining nonstop. Supposed to rain again today, but it was just so crazy. So I said, let me jump in here today. But I'll be following back up with everyone next week. Getting in here, let's chit chat. Let's talk about permit running. Let's talk about adding this service into your business. Let's talk about making money as a permit runner. Okay. So if you have any questions, you have any comments, definitely leave them in the chat. I'll try to get back to as many as possible. Again, like I said, the Permit Runner Boot Camp, it's going to be $57 for the first 5 or so people. The last boot camp I did, I think I ended up having like 11 or 12 people. Again, because I wanted to keep it kind of small. Because I like that interaction. Okay. So again, that link will be in there, but please feel free, comment, leave me a comment, leave me a question if you have one. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible to address that. But thank you so much for your time. I appreciate each and every one of you who have decided to take some time out of your day to sit here and listen to me chit chat about permits, right? So again, thank you so much. And I look forward to chit chatting with you soon.